Good Friday afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mackailyn Johnson, and for Journey Taylor, here's what we're following for you today at noon. The value of your car just went up, even if you've owned those wheels for years. We've got the reason behind the change at 12:07. And for years, reaching 10,000 steps a day has been the goal for people looking to stay healthy. But is that too many? In 17 minutes, we're sharing the interesting new findings. Plus, music's most popular genre has now been around for half a century. A little later, we're going to party like it's hip-hop's birthday. But first, meteorologist Nathan Scott is here with us. Nathan, a lot of us saw some storms this morning. What are we seeing right now?
Good afternoon, Mackailyn. Yeah, it almost feels like Florida out there when you have one storm make its way through, the sun comes out, and another storm makes its way through. That has been the case here in the metro this morning, and there's still some showers and storms roaming around Arkansas this afternoon. Here's a radar loop. Not everybody's seeing the rain, but where you are seeing the rain, it's a gully washer with some thunder and lightning happening over parts of White County into Lonoke County, making its way through Cabot. Ward headed towards Beebe and Gardner. And we got more showers and storms around Arkadelphia, extending into Dallas County. Those are drifting their way down to the south and southeast. So we'll hang on to the chance of spotty showers and storms through the course of the afternoon. Temperatures, wide variety. Where the clouds are, temperatures into the low 80s. But where you've seen some sun, temperatures are warming up into the low 90s. And I think everybody should be able to top out into the low to mid 90s today. And with all that humidity, it's going to feel more like 105 to as high as 110. So that's why we do have a heat advisory in effect all the way through this evening. Excessive heat warning issued down into South Arkansas, and expect more heat alerts going into the weekend. I'll let you know how hot it's going to get coming up.
Nathan, thank you. This summer is bringing unbearable heat waves and record-breaking temperatures, and we're not out of the woods yet. And trying to beat the heat can be a costly challenge. Many Arkansans noticed an increase in their energy bills. Those who weren't prepared for the increases may be at risk of falling behind on payments. The Central Arkansas Development Council is offering assistance to people in need through its Low Energy Assistance Program. Unfortunately, not everyone qualifies for that help. Those who are in Pulaski County are now being referred to another organization called Helping Hand. They can give each of their clients $100 for a utility bill once a year. While it may not seem like much, Executive Director Gail Pretty says it can be a lifeline for the folks who need it.
And it's hard to imagine how they buy groceries and pay their utility bills, or if they have a car or have to pay for transportation. It's kind of scary thinking how they're going to make ends meet on that little money.
You can call to set up an appointment with Helping Hand if you live in Pulaski County and your power bill is in your name. You can still apply for LIHEAP as well until September 30th. And new at noon, Attorney General Merrick Garland has appointed a special counsel to oversee the Hunter Biden investigation. The move comes after U.S. Attorney David Weiss, who has already been leading the investigation, asked to be made a special counsel, and Garland agreed to the appointment. The decision comes after a plea deal struck between Weiss and Hunter Biden fell apart in court after the judge questioned the deal. In a THV 11 update, this afternoon we're working to learn more about the arrest of a Pulaski County Sheriff's deputy after a physical altercation involving the man she lives with. Little Rock police officers responded to 25-year-old Sheriff's deputy Arielle Donson's home Wednesday night. Donson is accused of pulling her service weapon on 26-year-old Jalen Wilson. Both were arrested on battery charges and could also face aggravated assault charges. And in another update, we're hearing from the family of Kevion Jones, a 33-year-old who was killed during an encounter with Osceola police earlier this week. It happened early Wednesday morning. Police say they responded to reports of a man pointing a rifle at a convenience store worker. According to officials, officers later tracked down that suspect to a truck driven by Jones sitting outside a home. The report says Jones came out pointing a gun at the officers, who responded with gunfire, killing him. We heard from a witness and Jones's family yesterday who dispute the officer's claims.
You hear them say was come out, come out. You ain't never heard them say put the hands up or none of that. You just heard them say come out, come out. Soon, and then they just went to shoot. Pop, 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 pop. It's crazy.
Could have been handled another way. And then how many rounds does it take to kill a man?
Relatives said he was unarmed, although his brother said he was licensed to carry. Family members say Jones was a father of 4 who was schizophrenic and had PTSD. Arkansas State Police is investigating the shooting, and Jones's body has been taken to the state crime lab. In other news, police are investigating a fatal accident that killed a pedestrian in Benton. It happened yesterday around 9:30 a.m. on the North Service Road on I-30. The woman, who has not been identified, was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the vehicle is cooperating with the investigation. Police are asking if you have any information about this incident to contact them. And state police are also investigating a separate deadly pedestrian accident this week. Investigators tell us it happened yesterday around 1:30 a.m. on Interstate 630. 24-year-old Zach Clark was hit while trying to push his car off the road near the Baptist Health exit. There were 2 other people injured, but we're not sure the extent of those injuries. State police are still investigating. And incidents like that unfortunately happen too often. That's why there are preventative laws in place to protect pedestrians. According to Arkansas law, drivers are required to move over at least 1 lane when they see flashing lights. This applies to all vehicles, whether it's a state trooper, ambulance, RDOT truck, or a tow truck. We spoke with a tow truck driver with more than 20 years of experience in Arkansas. He told us he's scared of getting out on the interstate.
It's a matter of willpower. Hit the brakes or get over. And I'm not asking you to take 20 minutes out of your day. I'm asking you to save my life. You know, the wind has bent our doors forward. That's how close people get.
The move over law was implemented over a decade ago. Failure to follow this law can result in a fine up to $500, jail time, and a suspended license of up to 6 months. Fire crews in Maui are trying to contain the wildfires that have killed at least 55 people and destroyed more than 1,000 homes and buildings. Officials in Hawaii say the death toll is expected to significantly rise as more than 100 National Guard members, among other rescue teams, search through rubble for missing people. The governor has declared this the largest disaster in state history. The Supreme Court has temporarily blocked a nationwide settlement with OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma. The settlement would shield members of the Sackler family who own the company from civil lawsuits tied to the opioid crisis. The High Court will hear arguments before the end of the year over whether the settlement can proceed. And a heads up for Target shoppers, the chain is recalling more than 2 million scented candles sold exclusively at its stores because the candles' glass jars may suddenly shatter while the wick is burning. The recall notice says the candles come in jars that can crack or break during use, posing laceration and burn risks. So far, Target has received 19 reports of the jars breaking or cracking during use. And most viewed on THV11.com, there's a lot of cost that comes with owning a car. Unfortunately, Arkansans will likely notice some more fees when you get your car assessed. Car values held steady during the pandemic. Now that process is changing. THV11's Ian Russell explains what you should know before you assess.
Nothing beats the feeling of the open road. But paying taxes on that car you're driving, that could be a pretty big bump in the road.
Whatever it is, whether it's a bill or your property tax, whatever the case, you want to know that that amount that you're paying is actually accurate.
Getting your car assessed is just part of owning a car. The past few years, though, you may have noticed some similar bills. Now, Hardin says there's changes to the system.
People are assessing, and then they look at it and say, how in the world did my 10-year-old minivan go up in value? There's no way that's accurate. The fact is, it is.
The value of your car, yeah, even the older ones, has gone up. A big part of that, Hardin says, can be chalked up to high demand and issues from the pandemic.
To be honest with you, a lot of us probably got used to those past year prices, but now that we're back to market value, there are certainly a lot more questions. Hardin tells me they've seen the number of people calling about this increase, and he says it's probably only going to go up from here.
The increase that they're seeing now, hopefully it's not too much of a, let's call it, sticker shock.
The reason you're seeing this has to do with the state legislature. They passed legislation holding assessed values of cars to the same levels as they were in 2020. Basically, if you assessed in 2020, your 2022 car's value couldn't be higher than 2020's. Now that we're back to market value, vehicles are worth much more.
That's a surprising number to a lot of people.
So before you hit the road, Hardin wants you to remember one thing. It might be annoying, but it isn't just your local assessor telling you owe more money.
What we're seeing in Arkansas is not unique to Arkansas. This is across the United States. Every state is dealing with it. Hopefully it's not too much that it really impacts the bottom line for Arkansans, because nobody loves paying taxes.
In Little Rock, Ian Russell, THV 11 News.
We've got more information on how they determine your car's value, as well as important dates to watch out for over on THV11.com. And it turns out less may be more when it comes to getting in your steps. At 12:17, we're taking a closer look at the new number of daily steps researchers are recommending. Nathan.
Brutal heat builds into the region this weekend. Temperatures shooting up into the mid to upper 90s with the humidity. It's going to feel as hot as 110. Also, we're talking about the peak of the Perseid meteor shower on Saturday night. I'll have some tips on how you can view this cool celestial show coming up.